One. Hi. Let's see. Let's see. Hi, boo. Hello, everyone. Let's see. We have everything. All right, we do. Welcome. Good afternoon. Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's a fact. Hello, my beautiful. How is everybody doing today? Hi, what's up? I see you, Jazzy. Hello, welcome, 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 welcome. Let's see. 13. Hello, everyone. Hello, welcome, hello. So, just so you guys know, this is a featured show. Welcome to It Takes a Village with Jessica. How is everyone doing today? How is everyone doing today? Good. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. Yes. Hello, everyone. Curly. Hi, mi amor. Hi, everyone. Booyah. Brandon, my boys are here. Hello. Welcome. Booyah. Hello. Welcome. Thank you. Hi. Hi, my name. All right. Welcome everyone to It Takes a Village with Jess, season 2. It's been a while. It's been a month. Can you believe it's been a month? I can't even believe it's been a month. It's crazy. I can't believe it's been a month. So, with that being said, season 2 in the books. Welcome. Happy New Year's, right? Happy New Year's. Thank you. I see you guys. Welcome. So, if you guys are wondering, what is this show about, right? Well, let me tell you a little something. It's about parenting, our childhood. There is no perfect book, How to Be the Perfect Parent. So, with that being said, we have two amazing guests today. We have my boy, my bro, my partner in crime, Booyah Boy in the building. And we have Brandon, who is amazing. I cannot wait until you guys get to hear their story. And today, y'all, today, guess what? It's a girl dad edition. I'm super hyped about it. So, do you understand what that means? Girl dad edition, meaning I have two amazing dads that have daughters, and we're gonna actually get to know that. Ruby, I see you. Booyah, true. Boo boo, I see you. Welcome. So, let me just tell you guys a little ground rules. When the show comes in, I'm not gonna be able to, say, hey, Booyah, hey, True, hey, Steph, hey, Ruby. It kind of, gets a little annoying. And I bet you my people, hey, Nay, I'm here. They're not gonna like that, right? This is a featured show, meaning that this is recorded, y'all. It's recorded. So what that is, be on your best behavior, please. You see those people in red, their fingers work. And don't block your blessings. So with that being said, is once you get on that list, you will never be off that list again. So sit back, enjoy, love on each other. This is a safe place, right? Definitely a safe place. So with that being said, let me get my guests to introduce themselves. I'm super duper excited. I cannot wait for this episode. Like again, welcome y'all to It Takes a Village with Jess. Again, I'm super excited. I have not done this. All right. Like let's use this as an example. Hey, go, now you blocked your blessings. So you see that? Thank you. All right, y'all. So let's introduce Brandon. Brandon, can you please request the box? We'll just introduce yourselves first, and then we'll get to, everything, all the good stuff.
Hey there.
Hello. Look at you. You look so nice.
I just threw myself together. It's funny.
I know you lying.
No, I
Um,
swear, it was down to the wire this morning. I have the girls right now. Actually, normally I do not stream. Obviously, made an exception for this specifically.
well,
But
thank
they're
you
watching
so
Space
much.
Jam, and we're here.
Yes. So listen, really quick before anything, let people know who you are, where they can find you, and all that
Uh,
good stuff.
Yeah, so it's Brandon, right? Brandon, you'll see the clover and the horse. The horse represent the stallion that we touched on that I can't expand on right now, but maybe later. But you'll see me. I stream. I've been a training streamer for the past three months. I think it's when I kind of came back. So you can see me around here. I'm me as far as it goes. 31, Southeast Michigan. Grew up out there, Detroit area. So shout out to the 31374 out there. And now I'm kind of doing my thing. Just kind of solo dolo. I was married for 7 years, together 8 years, but now we're amicably good, just different people, and that's why I'm here, I guess, to talk about that whole thing from
Yes, we get to
early
hear
days.
all that good stuff, all that journey. So don't tell people all the good stuff. So do you have a certain day that they can catch you?
I'm the way that my work schedule goes is a little bit different than everybody else's. I'm an independent electrician, so I do stream as I can, and what I try to do is basically just post it ahead of time on my Instagram. So if you guys want, you guys can hit my bio. You can favorite me while you're there if you're interested, and you can slide on down because the IG is there. Karate chop that button, set it, forget it, you're done. Stay in the loop, and you'll know when I'm on.
Yes. So with that being said, Brandon, thank you so much. We're gonna have you back. Let's just introduce Booyah right after you. So thank you. All
Thanks.
right. The late everyone said they interested now, Brandon. Thank you. That was good. That was good, huh? Yeah, y'all gonna like me. You guys are gonna stay all throughout the show, huh? You like that? Welcome, season two. Uh, hey, what's up, bro?
What's up?
How are you? Looking booyah, looking nice, brushing the beard.
I always keep the brush handy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, booyah,
Keep
boy. So let everybody know who you is. Who
Uh,
are
that's a good question. I'm Booyah. I stream almost every night. Um, and I'm just me. I'm just me. And I know you're nervous about this show, especially having me on here because we don't know what's going to happen because Uh, look at her. She's trying to hold it together, y'all. But yeah, no, top badge Jessica. I like to just thank you for having me today.
You're welcome. Thank you for being on here. I'm like
Yeah.
really, y'all. If I cry, please don't let me cry with Booyah. Y'all, he will never let me see the end of this. So I'm gonna try to hold it together. So welcome everyone to It Takes a Village with Jessica. This is Booyah. So make sure you guys hit him with a fave. He's an amazing streamer. He is an amazing person. So yes. So with this day, do you guys know who wants to go first, or we're gonna start with Brandon?
I mean, it don't matter to me.
Yeah, we're gonna start with Brandon. All right, Booyah. You need to change your shirt. I think you have another hoodie. Thank you. All right, guys. So, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for an amazing girl dad episode? Can you guys believe that these two men are dads to amazing little girls? And I cannot wait to hear all about it. So once again, y'all, thank you guys. There are some ground rules, all right? No cussing. Don't curse. There is no bullying in my stream. There is nothing on here. Please be respectful to my guests. This is a safe place, right? The people in red, they don't play with that. And don't request a box just yet. And please stay after my guest comes on, they tell us their stories. Y'all stay to the very end because we're gonna have like a little panel discussions and we get to talk to girl dads and get to ask questions. So with that being said, Brandon, request a box. Okay, thank you for the all right. So are you nervous?
No, 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 no. Well, actually, I'm. it's I don't exactly, so I haven't been here a long time. So and that when I have been here, I've kind of been streaming, and I go to like a very small circle of people. So I haven't
Mhm.
had the fortunate situation of kind of knowing what I'm getting into ahead of time.
That's
But
a good thing. That's a good thing.
yeah,
You
I got
see,
halfway
your
down.
names is up here though above me. So if you guys forget, it's Brandon and
Ooh,
Booyah Boy. You see that? Hey.
it's coming.
So all right. So Brandon, I just tell everybody, right? So my show is to let everybody know we all have a life outside of streaming.
Sure.
And my world, this show started based on my son, kind of like our discussion prior, right? We talked about it. It's kind of the exact conversation that we had prior as to why I wanted you part of my show. I was honored. I felt honored. People need to know that, especially because you are a girl dad. So, with that being said, welcome everyone to It Takes a Village with Jess, right? I was 21 years old when I had my child. How old were you, Brandon?
So I was 22.
22. And how many children do you have?
I have two daughters. They're 8 and 9, and they're 13 months to the day in difference.
Oh,
So
so
they're from
I
the
have
family.
one. I have a boy. He's 15. So and he's the love of my life. He's my ride or die. So we're kind of opposite on that end. And tell me a little bit about your village. Like tell me first about you, your village growing up. Did you come in through where your parents separated together or and now about you, your village? How are you a single dad? Are you co-parenting or are you married? How just your village. What is your
Right, right,
village?
right. Yeah, so no, I just want to let you get through it. So yeah, no, so right now, kind of, I guess, to set that whole idea is I do co-parent, 40/60. And that's the unfortunate reality of the situation is when you go through you splitting custody in the state of Michigan, you go through either arbitration or mediation. Mediation being that you guys decide some level that's amicable the terms, but it costs like $700 an hour, and you get stonewalled for 7 8 hours, probably a full day of work and going back and forth with lawyers. It was like almost $6,000 to try to do it. She was adamant about not whatever, but she's not bad. I think she's a decent mom in that capacity. She just she felt like she needed that. So that's the real situation. I don't want to act like I'm doing it all by myself,
Mhm.
to give you to a realistic idea. Now I get my daughters as much as possible. I also coach I go outside of that, I coach their soccer team. I do some things outside of that and chaperone because of being independent. I can move my work schedule around a lot. You know what I mean? So I'm
Mhm.
very involved in their life, and that's kind of my top priority, getting the bag right and making sure that they're good because I did not come from relating to my village, I suppose, did not come from that sort of situation. My mother loved me and everything like that, but I was almost a foster kid when I was 8 years old. You know what I mean? So I mean,
Mhm.
there were some issues, and the thing is though, and you get upset about that when you're younger, but when you I tell people a lot of time that inner peace or peace in general comes from understanding. When you kind of size people up and realize this person was only going to be able to do this, or they're only capable of so much, you start realizing inside those parameters, there's nothing really to be upset about because they couldn't really, you know what I mean? It's almost, I'm not giving everybody a scapegoat, but like they were never going to be able to do that in the first place. So I didn't come up from a great situation, but they cared about me, nothing crazy like that. It was just like substance abuse shit and people getting caught up in their own problems and you know what I mean? Like that sort, oh, sorry, some things like that. And people getting caught up in their own problems so I grew up fairly abrasive, Detroit metro area. You know what I mean? It's kind of a gritty place. You
I
know what I
think
mean?
that's what we are talking about. So now people want to know what's your story, like how no one really knows, right? So I know me as a mother, right? Everything, my trials and tribulations of how I became a mom. I guess people want to know your story. Like, did you think you were going to be, what went through your mind, when you found out that you were going to be now a dad of two little girls and doing it alone, a broken family? Like, what were the trials and tribulations? What is your story? Who is Brandon as a dad? Who are you
Yeah.
as a what's
So
your
I mean,
story?
I was the ex-wife I met when I was like 21, and I was doing my 21-year-old single Pringle doing me thing. You know what I mean? I was going to
Mhm.
college and was in a relationship with this chick from my like psychology class, and it just didn't work out. Like imagine that, like a crystal ball. She was a little bit younger than me, which is not my normal for it. You know what I mean? She was like a few years younger than me or whatever, which is not generally what I do and stuff for some reasons or whatever about maturity and where you're at in life, et cetera, et cetera. But so that didn't work out. And then scratch that, that's like a 2 year thing, whatever. Scratch that. She goes back to stay with her parents or whatever out in St. Clair Shores, and then I'm doing my thing. Now I'm not, whatever, right? Until I'm doing my thing. So which was whatever, kind of partying, blah blah blah, and so but next door. At one point in time, in the midst of all this craziness, you know what I mean? Because I was in sales, so I didn't really work a normal schedule then either. Like 3 days, had like 10 to 12, you know what I mean, for the week, and I was hanging out, drinking, and whatever, like just being dumb and young. And in the midst of all these crazy parties, my neighbor left her keys in her door one day, and I knock on the door, and there's this nice little Asian girl reading a book. I got like a 45-person party with no elbow room and a stripper pole. Like it was just not, my life was different, you know what I mean? And that was my apartment, 202, so it was always nuts. And I was always kind of a kid that I was friends with everybody. I was a skateboarder. I played this, that, and the other. I played sports, football, basketball, and I was just kind of friends with everybody. I was an art major because initially, before I was an electrician, I was a graphic design major, psychology minor, and so yeah, I mean, I just kind of was friends with everybody. So I had big parties and crazy, and I saw this person, and I realized in the midst of all this craziness, maybe I needed a measure of that in my life because life is balance.
Mhm.
So I started kind of seeking more of that, more of the not being all caught up in the social BS, and kind of going to be a little bit more grounded and a little bit more pragmatic and practical in my approach to life. And I made good money at the time, so why not? So I'm fast forward, I guess. I get rid of all the BS, and I'm talking to her kind of. And I didn't initially, when I met her, it was a nothing. It was just she got her keys. That was that, right? And then I saw her coming in one day with her laundry, and we had a mutual friend that was at a birthday party. We go to the birthday party, nothing crazy. I actually helped her move. She that night, I just stayed up all night, went to Coney Island. No, I didn't try to kiss her. I didn't try to do nothing, which is not my bag. I'm kind of a, I was going out at that point in
Okay,
time.
got it,
I was that
yeah.
guy. So whatever. But it's just you kind of read the room and the person and everything like that, and you kind of
Mhm.
match that energy, in my opinion. And but anyway, yeah, hang out all night, go to a Coney Island, and which if you guys don't know, it's just like a little diner, usually by the great people out in the Detroit metro area. The great, it's like greasy burgers, mozzarella sticks. You know what I mean? You get your breakfast there. They're cheap, they're great. But yeah, we do that, and I helped her move, and she moved like an hour and a half away, and that was I didn't see her. So I went back to me doing me. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh no. Well, then she comes back like 2 weeks later out of nowhere, and it's like I'm like not in good shape from the night prior. But nothing crazy. Like nobody else
Mhm.
was there. I wasn't like with another girl or anything like that. But
Right.
I was like, I was not feeling good. And then she like came like an angel, and I opened my eyes, and she was there somehow. And she was like, "Do you need anything?" And I'm like, "Gatorade and Advil." And I'm like, I was on my deathbed, and no, but she helped me out there, and then this is to date myself. I guess we're talking back on Skype because it was like an hour and a half away. She was an educator. No, nice. The Coney Islands are great. She was an educator, and she had a job in like the inner city Lansing area off of MLK. Just any big city that has MLK, you already know, like just kind of the inner city style of
Mhm.
situations, a public charter, and she did that. But we were out there. So I ended up like subletting her apartment to help her out, and then like my buddy, because I moved in with my buddy because he had a girlfriend that bailed on him. I move in, and then I sublet her apartment. His little brother moved in because we was already over there all the time anyway. So we had two apartments now next to each other, being idiots. But no, and when she came back, it was kind of more like I dropped all the other BS and with the girls and whatever, and kind of because she was like, I'm not about that. Like she's like, I'm
So
not
you,
gonna be one of
you
these.
found stability in her.
But yeah,
So
she asked for that, and I think that's important. You should in any relationship you should set your standards and your boundaries and expectations up front, and then it goes a lot smoother like that because things everything does change. Don't get me
so
wrong, but
once you fall in love, right? Fast forward, you fall in love. This is your stability. You found your person, right?
yeah, we
Now,
have the kid and we planned the kid because she's an educator. I made good money, planned my first child. We have the first child, and I
time out.
wanted to.
Wait, before you go anywhere. So, what was that first feeling when you found out the first child is going to be a girl?
Well, I mean,
Did
yeah, that's
did
a
you
good
want,
one.
because some guys really want, like, oh my God, it was gonna be a boy, but or did you always want a girl like first and it was planned? I've never heard a man say I planned something. So this is very important. I've never heard this before. So you can't fast forward this part. This is very important to me because that's a
Yeah.
beautiful
So
thing.
my daughter. So my first daughter was planned. Just it just kind of made sense. You know what I mean? And my family didn't do so hot, but the ex-wife's family, both engineers, came from the Philippines. She came over here when she was 13 years old. They were very well educated. They just raised I mean, they were great people. You know what I mean?
Love it.
And it was, if I was gonna have children with somebody, it was gonna be her. You know what I mean? I that she was my forever person.
And
You know what I mean?
everyone.
And that was that. Like I dropped all the other stuff that was what it was. So I'm gonna have the girl, and I mean,
Mhm.
she's not doing well. We're in Lansing at the time, and she was like couldn't stay in class because she was like she had a lot of morning sickness, which is associated generally with girl pregnancies. And I kind of almost knew it was going to be a girl. And don't get me wrong, I wanted a boy initially, like a boy to carry on my name, right? Because like I had to make my name. My name was not made. My last name started with
Mhm.
me. You know what I mean? Like I made it. I made it significant. I made it mean something through my rapport in the neighborhood or in the community and in the environment that I grew up in, and now with my work and everything like that, where I grew up, I'm very well established out there, and people know me. And I'm I'm not a big. Now I'm not sitting here trying to pat myself in the back, but my
No,
name means something
so
where I'm from.
that's great that you made something, and it's interesting, right? Because that is right when you do so well. Because sometimes we come from nothing, and this is our generation, and boys are they carry on the men's your legacy because of your last name. That's what we were raised back in the day to, men, the last name, the legacy. But it's cool, and I'm gonna actually ask you now that you are a girl dad, do you still feel like, man, a boy's not going to carry my legacy? Or did you put so much into your daughters that you're like, this is my legacy?
Oh, my daughter, 100%. My daughters are my legacy. They're the most rewarding thing that I've done. And it doesn't, my buddy Chris took his wife's last name. It's not like they couldn't, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. And it's what they want to make of it. At this point in time, in my opinion, when you have children, your priorities switch there. Yes, did I want my name and everything to be carried on? My genetics will be carried on. You know what I mean? My lessons will be carried on. The person that they are, that I help influence and work with, and you know what I mean, through all their adversity will be is information they could pass on to their children. You know what I mean? So as long as my influences and helps them, you know what I mean, they can better them and they can continue to do that. We're trying to get away from the dilution of the type of people that we have in this world. And unfortunately, the state of things right now are not great. And I think that people need to focus on parenting. So regardless of my own wants or superficial ideas, you know what I mean? Like, oh, my name meant nothing before me. And however it is, this parenting that I'm doing right now is going to mean something to them, and it'll mean something to their kids. So,
Oh,
um,
I love that, Brandon. So I have some, now I love that. Now we get to see that side of you. So now I have some questions, right?
sure.
So what's your definition of like, no, let's even go back. You know how the women carry the children, right?
Yeah.
The women carry the children, and now
Bouncer.
what is, don't even look at the comments. So the women carry the children. What is your like, what does a man feel when your children are
Well,
born?
so when she again, she had the morning sickness, so she stopped working, and I worked. She stayed home for 5 years. Out of the 8 years together, five and a half years, almost 6 years. So,
Mhm.
and initially, I actually was with my daughter when she was born because I was going to go in the military. So she carries the child, and we were fortunate. I was fortunate enough to make enough money to where she could stay home, and we weren't just both going to, to have somebody else raise our daughter, because to me that's very important. Like the person I was with was the person that I was confident that they were going to be a good mother. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And because she was an educator, and educators don't go out for the bag. Yeah, accountants, lawyers, you know what I mean? But the educators aren't out for the bag. They're out for the influence. They're out to help kids. They're out there to be that hands-on. And now you have this person that was their priority, and you get the maternal instincts, which to me are so important. So she was going to be a good mother. I wanted her to stay home, and she wanted to do the same thing. And so 5.5 years, she did that. and I took care of everything else. You know what I mean? Like literally
And I
everything.
guess is like because, and the reason why I'm asking is because, right, I never had males around. So my dad wasn't around. I had my stepfather, but he came into my life when I was already older, Brandon.
Sure.
So my brother, my half brother, but I call my brother, he just became a father to a little girl. So I am an aunt for the first time ever in my life. And when he had my niece, we laid down in the bed, right? And it was like a surreal feeling, right? Because I fell in love with my baby brother. Now he's a man, right? I see him got married. Now he gave birth to this beautiful my niece, this beautiful doll. I call her muñeca. And so I have my niece in one hand, and then my brother comes and cuddles with me on the other hand, and I just start crying. And I'm like, this is beautiful, right? I get to see you in a new chapter of your life. It's beautiful. And I look at him, I'm like, was it love at first sight? Like, because I know when they put my son on my chest, I'm like, what were your feelings? Because I don't get to talk to the men, right? I'm like, was it love at first sight? Did you know what to do? He's like, Jessica, it you guys experience it different because they grow inside of you. It's this crazy feeling, right? We carry them. But for the dads, right, depending on how involved you are during the pregnancy, certain dads don't get that feelings, or certain dads said, well, no. He's like, well, I became a protector. It wasn't like I love her, but it's not the type of love like you have. He said he said I it was immediate. I'm going to protect her. Like, my job for the rest of my life is to protect my daughter. So I guess, is that kind of the feeling that you get having now two beautiful daughters?
Well, I mean, I've always kind of been a protector. Like I said, I was going to be like a foster kid when I was eight, 90 younger brother. So I pretty much raised my younger brother to the best of my ability when I was growing up. Kind of had to become
I love
a man and somebody who was more paternal initially. So that was my trial run, so to speak. I wish I could have did a better job. Don't get me wrong. Now he's only about 19 months younger than me, so it was a bit tough to earn that level of respect and have the
Absolutely.
influence that you want to, and also have the wisdom, which I never. Of course, I wasn't going to have the wisdom. I was a child, so that was tough. That was tough. And he we're good now. Like we had some weird whatever, but we're good now. So when I saw my daughters, it was, this is my second chance to do it exactly right.
I love it.
To do it
And
exactly
I'm
right.
gonna have so you did want to be, I guess, is what's your advice for other dads, like other fathers raising daughters?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say that because I could give you advice based on my younger daughter, who's very like whimsical and very free and very childlike, and has this. Now they're both very like they're sharp with they're sitting there talking to me, and you pick up literally how many nuances and how they read subtext and how intelligent they really are and the type of critical thinking they have. But they're different. Daughters can be very different. You have my older daughter and my younger daughter, for instance. They're like night and day. They're best friends, yin and yang, two parts of the whole, but they are like night and day. My older daughter likes the anime, but she likes the soccer and she likes to be active in the video games and this, that, and the other. My younger daughter can't be bothered. She wants to play dress, be cute with her friends and this, that, and the other. Now the older daughter has more friends than her boys because and they're great kids. They're all great kids. Don't get me wrong. And they're not like whatever, like rolling
Mhm.
around the mud to give you like that, whatever. But they're soccer. They're more athletic. They're more productive. They like the video games. They like to do something. They're competitive. My younger daughter just wants to be free and float around like a little fairy. So it's different. Yeah,
I
the
love
advice
it.
is different. But what it is you don't. People think that you should treat daughters and sons drastically different. It's not. They're both children.
Mm,
They all have feelings. It's because of the way that there's the connotations that we have in society about men and women.
mm.
You know what I mean? And
Stand
like,
out.
but we're all people at the end of the day. So you should teach your daughters how to be tough. You know what I mean? You shouldn't just withdraw or omit that whole like lesson because they're not a boy and they're not supposed to be. Of course, they're not supposed to be fighting. God forbid something happens. You know what I mean? This world is not meant for the faint of heart. You have to be tough out there. Now, I'm not saying you need to be this whole. Don't give me. I'm not. Don't do it to me. Don't do it to me. But the whole strong, independent woman, I don't need no man. You know what I mean? Like whatever. But be self sufficient. You know what I mean? Be self sufficient and have that inherent value and have the initiative to go ahead and say, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to wait around for somebody else, man, woman, chat, whatever. You know what I mean? The situation is. So my daughters are taught to be practical and pragmatic and self-sufficient, and to be a little tough. That's just the way that we're, especially in the area that I grew up in. You need that. You need
Mhm.
some thick skin out here. You can't crumble under pressure. You have to, pressure makes diamonds. So like a lot of the same lessons do apply. I think that you wrap it up differently. You know what I
Love
mean?
it.
The delivery is different.
Absolutely. So I have a few questions. How do you define home? What is home to you?
Oh, sheesh. Home's funny because I used to do a lot of travel work, but homes are my kids. I mean, not my, now, where I can have
I
my
have the
kids
same
where,
answer, so I fully understand you. Welcome everyone to It Takes a Village with Jess. If you guys don't have Brandon Fave, make sure you guys favorite him and Booyah Boy. Stay tuned because we have a whole bunch of questions. So my question before I introduce my next guest is always, um, how do you define home?
yeah, I mean, home's here right now, and we recently moved and everything like that. But don't get me wrong, my home is where the pictures are. It's where the stuff is. It's where they feel comfortable. It's like, but it's all for my kids. To me, home could be an Airbnb at the time, if I
Mhm.
didn't have my children. But it's not like that. My kids now. I moved. I was an hour and a half away from my ex-wife. Just moved a little bit, like half an hour closer, so I'm about an hour ish away from the ex-wife. So it's a bit of a trip one way or the other. Where I grew up feels a little bit like home, which is like the Southeast Michigan. Metro Detroit. Shout out Downriver Rats out there. But that feels like home a little bit, but it doesn't matter. It's where I can sit with my kids and we feel comfortable, and where it's at right now is here. You know what I mean? And
I love it. I love it. And there's one more question. If I knew then what I know now, what would it be? So if this Brandon knows, what would you tell the younger Brandon as a dad?
oh god, um, good question. You know what? As a father, I don't think. Huh. As a father, I don't think I've changed much. I always knew what I wanted to do as a person, as a man, just as a person. I've changed. I've mentally matured in the level my level of uh, emotional intelligence has grown like exponentially, right? Like
Uh-huh.
because I used to be like so like frontal lobe, and I told you I was a psychology major, and one day I was talking to a professor because I really like to chop it up. My professor, really humble individual, just really knowledgeable, a lot of respect, and we're talking about communication, and I kind of was like, it was kind of loaded because like we had a disagreement. I'm a firm believer that not every disagreement needs to be an argument, but my ex-wife and I were vastly different. So I wanted the third party opinion without specifically throwing anybody under the bus here. You know what I mean? About with the psychology professor. And we're talking and I'm kind of going through my spiel like, I think the most effective way to communicate is to stop with all the emotions, the amygdala stuff, and just really work off our frontal lobe. I think we just
Mhm.
need to be logical about the way that we do things. And my professor responded that that's not important. That's not effective. And I go, well, why
Absolutely.
not? You know, and they were like, well, because emotions do matter. You can't, the things are not on paper. You know what I mean? And like, I really started looking at that a lot more. You're like, no matter how much they could be irrelevant to like when you're looking at the equation of the situation and what factors are really significant, emotions do matter. You're going to elicit a response. And generally speaking, and this is like scientifically, this is not an opinion. This is just factually, I myself as a man, I'm going to go to my frontal lobe more often than not. Then a woman is going to go to her amygdala first, and then we reverse that. You know what I mean? We then often, then men then go to their amygdala and try to consider, but the emotions happen up front. And if we don't understand that and
Mhm.
factor that in, we can't adequately deal with the situation. So, like, my level of communication and everything, and like understanding and patience, and a lot of like, I guess you could say virtues of like,
Mhm.
and there's a lot of people I could reference in that, but there's a lot of virtues of basically being able to possess something and being able to control it and understanding this and having like this intimate knowledge of the situation as opposed to this, oh, this is just what it is on paper. So as a father, I'm not sure I would tell myself much, but as a person, I would say just breathe.
I love it. I love it. Well, just breathe, hold that thought, and come back. I'm gonna introduce Booyah Boy. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you guys favorite Brandon. He is amazing, amazing father, amazing streamer, amazing person. Then we're gonna have him one more time for the panel discussion. So just breathe. So Brandon, thank you so much. Sit back, enjoy, and we'll be right back with you. Okay? Thank you, my
Yeah.
love. All right. All right, y'all. Are you guys ready for the next Guess. Y'all make sure you guys put lurking eyes. Does everyone have the lurking eyes? Set up lurking eyes, lurking eyes. Let's see. Y'all introduce Booyah, lurking eyes, lurking eyes. Let's run it up, run it up, run it up. There we go. All right, y'all. Introducing the one and only Booyah Boy.
Uh,
Oh
all right, so
man.
I went and got
Hi,
me a little fancy
Booyah.
coffee mug. I'm ready for our interview.
Okay, welcome everyone to It Takes a Village with Jess. We had the amazing Brandon. It's Brandon. And we have now Booyah Boy with an amazing merch. Let me know when you guys want the website. But that's a nice hoodie, sir.
Thank you.
Um, but anywho, so all right. So Booyah. Welcome everyone to It Takes a Village with Jez. Um, you're welcome, Brandon. So listen,
I'm listening.
I was 21 when I became a mom.
Hmm.
How old were you, sir?
I was 24 years old.
24 years old. Okay, good job. All right, so 24 years old. And
Hmm.
how many children do you have?
One that I know of.
Okay, all right. Hey, I need you to look down on your shirt and go like this for me. Yeah, just say that to yourself because that's what I'm thinking. All right.
I have one 12-year-old,
Beautiful.
beautiful. Don't listen. Hold on. Wait, wait. Don't be saying what I'm
Oh,
saying.
sorry, sorry.
Beautiful, social butterfly daughter.
That is, I love that answer. Amazing. Hey, Booya, tell me a little bit about your village. Do you parents alone? Did you come from a household that had both parents, one single parent? Like, tell me a little bit about your childhood and when you thought that parenting was going to look like for you.
Okay, so no, I had a really good childhood, right? Both parents in the house.
Mhm.
Uh, Never, saw them fight. We see them argue from time to time because that's just what people do. Everybody argues, but didn't really see anything bad, and it was just a really good childhood. Um, Now, the adult life, something totally different.
Mhm.
So, just going through 12 years because me and her mother got into we had a divorce when she was one, and so 11 years, uh, having a little bit of help through the way, just through past relationships and whatnot. um, it was a struggle just because it wasn't something that I knew. You know what I'm saying? I always wanted to have the marriage, the kids, and just live that like
Okay.
family life, right? But I haven't got that. So it's been a struggle through my adult life, and so um, having help here and there, uh, it works. It works.
Does that play a role for a man? Because I've always wondered that when you don't, because I know it plays a role in my life. Like, man, my son is older. I didn't give him the chance. I guess it's called that mom guilt, right? I didn't give him the chance of waking up to a dad or a father figure. I don't have the white picket fence. Everything that we thought we were going to give them. Do men go through that same guilt as a woman does? Like, did you go through that guilt? Like, did you feel less than a man that you couldn't give that? I guess is my question.
No, not less of a man, but I mean, of course, you don't want uh, any child to go through something like that. But I mean, as time goes on, it gets easier, it gets better, and it's super easy now. with her being 12 years old, and it's she's not a a baby anymore, so but no, yeah, everyone goes through that, I think, where you wish it could have been different, but sometimes you just have to you know protect what's most important. So
Absolutely. All right. So I have a few questions for you then. Um, Life gets hard for us, right? I know life gets hard. It didn't pan out. So, with that being said, how was it trying to be strong for your daughter during hard times? Is she your saving grace? Do you think about her? Is so I guess the floor is yours. Whatever you want to speak about on
okay,
that
let's
question.
tell you what. You have your tissues. All right, because this I think this might get her. So we're not going to talk about 11 years ago. Okay, you want to know what my daughter is to me, right? What she
Mhm.
means to me. So a little over a year ago, uh, I get out of a 5.5 year relationship, um, and I lost like a lot. I thought I lost it all. So, and you'll see why you'll see why I say that here in a second. But I thought I lost everything. So I actually um, tried to take my life a few times. And the first time I was sitting in a hotel room, and I don't know, I had a pistol, and right when that moment was about to happen, my phone went off, and my screensaver is my daughter. And it was like she was sitting there looking at me. It was like it was the biggest blessing, because I sat there for hours and hours and hours, and I just couldn't do it because honestly, I don't know why, but I sat there and I waited and waited and waited, and then boom, a sign happened, and yeah, it was something that is the reason why I'm here, because of her. She is my angel. She does not know um, what I've been through. She doesn't know that she saved my life, and without her, I wouldn't be here with y'all right now, and that's a promise. So it was definitely a struggle going through something where I thought I had lost it all, but in reality, I didn't lose everything because I still had her. So use the word saving grace. Yeah, she's my she saved my life. So yeah.
I'm trying not to cry because you don't understand. He'll make fun of me forever. Okay. Um, and I asked Booya before the stream. I said, was his mom like, was it the first love? And he couldn't answer that for me, y'all. And then he said, just, I have an answer for your question. And what was the answer, Booya?
No, her mother was not the first love of my life. My daughter was.
I hate it. And I don't think people understand, right? Like, I don't think people understand, right? Our children are everything. I think with everything that we deal with, even on here, on the streaming world, right? We deal with a lot of things, but our children are our blessings, right? And I think it's so important to talk about that as well, and trying to stay I go through the same thing like Booyah. I didn't go to that extreme, but I'm sick, right? I'm sick. Every day I fight for my life to get up and do all of this stuff. And I think I've told Steph, I don't want, sometimes if I didn't have my son, I would give up on myself. I wouldn't fight every day. I would just lay on my bed and I wouldn't fight to get up. And the reason why I fight every day to get out of bed is for my son. And so just to know that his daughter saved his life is a beautiful thing, just for our children, period. And I think that people need to understand. Ain't that I'm sorry, bonus. Her finger works, y'all. You guys don't understand. Her finger never works. So look at God. Um, sorry, we're gonna celebrate that. All right. So yes, and I think that's a beautiful thing because one day she's gonna look back, and it's important for girls to know that what they mean to a father. I wish I knew what I meant to my dad, you know, and my dad is not in my life. He doesn't want anything to do with me. um I don't have males in my life. I think that's why I get so attached to, like, Booyah. I get attached to him. He's like my brother and he gets to talk to me. So men in my life, they're not part of my life at all. So this is my time to really understand where you guys come from. So Booyah, I appreciate you being vulnerable. Thank you for making me cry in front of people. I was trying to start season 2 without crying. I held it together though. I didn't do the ugly cry. Um, I guess for another question is, did you always want to be a dad?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Actually, I wanted I wanted several kids, um, but you play the hand that's dealt. So we have the one for now, and yeah, yeah, I definitely wanted to be a father. You know what I mean? So
I love that. And I'm gonna ask you one too is what's how do you define home?
that's just wherever you're at. That's wherever the heart's at. A home could be anywhere. A home could be in a shack as long as you're happy. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't even matter. Home is what you make it, not
And
materialistic things.
all right. And I got some other questions, but I'm going to wait for both of you guys to be in because it's girl dad questions and this is a girl dad episode. So I'm going to finish it up with that. But I do want to ask you one thing is if you know then what you know now, what would it be?
If I know,
Then, like the new Booyah sitting right here, what would you tell the Booyah with that 1-year-old daughter that everything was
let's
breaking down?
say, bro, it's gonna be all right. Everything's gonna be good. You're gonna be amazing. I know you don't have an instruction manual for this, but you don't need it. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna mess up as a person. You're gonna mess up as a father, and it's gonna be okay. And it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay. Like you're gonna have your storms. All you have to do is wait them out. After every storm, there's a rainbow. It's gonna be all right.
So breathe with Brandon, and it's okay with Booyah. All right, we got it. Now, are you guys ready for the discussion panel with these two amazing men that are raising two amazing, beautiful, with three beautiful, amazing daughters? So, Brandon, if you're still here, request a box, please. If not, I'm gonna have to have Booyah, and he gonna make fun of me. So, okay. Oh God, I'm never gonna hear the end of this. Brandon, Booyah, Booyah, Brandon. Welcome
Yeah.
y'all to my last part of the show, right? We're gonna switch it up. So do you like this? Are you guys getting, am I too emotional? I'm emotional. Hold on. I'm trying to
Kind
hold it
of.
together, y'all. Welcome everyone to It Takes a Village with Jess with two amazing people. So um I have a question for y'all.
All right.
What is the definition of a girl dad?
Uh, what it means to me, what it means to me is, uh, you know, it's hard to put into words. Okay. I think of, when it comes to me, I think of a girl dad more in a sports term.
Okay.
Okay. So like, I coach my daughter to play soccer. Who got money?
Yo, let's go.
Um,
Soccer dads.
yeah, I put a soccer ball in my daughter's foot when she was 2 years old, and I raised her to be tough. If she wasn't bleeding, then we don't cry about it. So, a lot of times she'd fall, hit her knee, and if there's no blood, she'd like she would suck it up. And now I know how tough she is just because she's a soccer player now, and she gets pushed around and she does her pushing around, and I'm on the sidelines cheering it on. She almost got into a fight on the soccer field one time. I thought she was about to hit this little girl, and I just stood there and I went, you're not, listen, you don't take any crap off of anybody. And I think my daughter knows that now. So, and that's based on the way that I have raised her to be tough. And so, yeah, but girl dad, I take it in like a sports
Okay.
way.
All
Yeah.
right. And Brandon, for you?
So I mean, as far as the girl dad goes, I mean, again, like dads are the generally the discipline in the house. When we're talking two parent households, we're generally the discipline. We're the guy that, typically speaking, and this was my role anyway, in more traditional gender roles. But yeah, I work all day, and yeah, I got to be the guy that comes home, see my kid last, and I still have to balance discipline with the limited amount of time that I have with them. So it's doing the hard thing, you know what I mean? But understanding that you need to deliver it in a soft way, that your daughter's gonna be receptive of that, and she's not gonna, you know what I mean? Like we're here to be. You got like this flower, you know what I mean? This delicate little flower sometimes, and other times they're just, they're the kid that's gonna get into a fight. You know what I mean? It's just so hard to balance that. So you have to know that, they are soft, they are gentle, and you do need to give them these lessons, and you do. It's a very fine balance. You're walking a tightrope the whole time. More so than I think with a boy, with a son. I think that the sons, you kind of, you know what I mean? You can be a little bit more rough and tough with them and stuff like that, generally speaking. And that's not a cookie cutter situation, but you could be, a little bit more rough with them and stuff like that, and you can deliver things a little bit more abrasively, and they kind of get it. They get it. You're kind of puffing your chest. You know what I mean? They get it, and they develop in that capacity. But the daughter, it's delivering those lessons and really walking that tightrope and having that balance to be. I'm still here. You don't have to be scared to tell me something. You don't have to. You know what I mean? I'm here to do this, but I'm also going to teach these lessons, and I understand, even though I'm a man raising somebody else's, mother or wife, and I'm not coming from a place of experience. So there's certain things they might be more comfortable talking to their mom about, but you still talk to me. However, and you have to deliver yourself as being tough, and the dad still being able to be emotionally available for your. It's a balancing act, and you know what I mean. You really have to. It's tough. It's tough.
Did it make you guys look differently at like how you guys view? Because right, you guys go, and I'm not saying all, I'm just saying like most men are like partiers, they cheat on women, they're like this, that, so their value on women is completely different than once they have a daughter.
Reverse. That's not true.
Okay, I'm just saying, just sometimes some guys are like that, right? So they do all this craziness. So their value on women are different, but then once they have their daughters, they're like, I guess my question is, because you're raising future wives, future moms, do they teach you to value women differently?
Um,
Uh,
you're
Okay, look
you
at
yo
that.
you
Okay,
take it,
welcome
Booyah. We'll
everyone
go
to
back.
Take the
You
Village
go
with
back to you, and
Jessica.
you. What do
I,
you think?
I, I hope, I hope that through me, my daughter can choose somebody to be like her dad. You know, from what I have shown her, not somebody that she hasn't seen, the the side that she never sees of me, right? So like I want her to be happy one day, and I hope she chooses somebody that is going to treat her good and not uh, cause me to go to jail one day.
Uh, no, and I get that whole aspect of it. Because then I'll keep it a buck. Booyah was totally disagreeing with what you're saying about, but I knew exactly what you're getting at with how guys are. Because and I was running around. I was doing, you know what I mean. I was Joe fucking. Whoop, 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 whoop. I was Joe Cool, and sorry to cough and tickle my throat there. I was just so cool, and so but you know what though, is because I came up from nothing and like really had to find my own way, and I really felt proud of who I was, you know what I mean, and I was very well received and stuff like that, so I kind of ran with it, you know what I mean. I was like, this is good, this is a good look on me, like I'm really doing it out here, and I felt like that was important and that was an accomplishment. And then I started realizing that you needed to tone it down, especially with the as I expressed with the ex-wife and stuff like that's I needed more of the balance and consistency and that, and it was really more of a different mind state. Now, do I want somebody that my daughters shouldn't? I want my daughters to want to be with somebody like their father now, not like their father then. So I knew where you were getting at with that.
I
Yeah,
love it. I love
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So I have one more question before I let people ask questions. Is how would you like to be remembered in your child's eyes? In your daughter's eyes? How would you like to be remembered in your daughter's eyes?
Hmm.
I I think that no matter what happens in life and however it transpires down the road, because I think about it sometimes, like with two parent households and stuff, but like I don't know how it's all gonna go. Don't get me wrong, I was a product of like divorce and stuff, and like my dad came around later in life, and I didn't really have much respect for him, but yeah, every kid kind of has you kind of want the approval. Not like I was seeking their approval, you know what I mean? But you kind of want that approval. I
Oh,
surpassed my father like tenfold
I
as a man, as a
understand.
person. But you know what I mean? You want it. You want.
Oh,
You're like you weren't. Now I get it, and I get it with what happened with my dad and my mom. He did the right thing of getting the heck out of there. They weren't good for each other. Toxic households, no good. You got to remove yourself from that situation. It just was never gonna be good. But I like sometimes I just worry like how's it all gonna go? How are they gonna view me? How are they? I do my very best like every day, like like so bad to like be there for them and in any moment that they have and be in the loop in their life and be there like they can tell if something bad happens and they're not gonna tell their mom. When they slip up and they curse or they do that, you know what I mean? I know about it. You know what I mean? I know
so
every
you
little
want them
bad
to
thing
know
they're
that you're
doing.
proud of them. So
I want them to be like I want them to view me as somebody they could have always came to. I said I don't care what happens in life. Come to me first. Even if you feel like you should call the police first. I'm not gonna elaborate. Come to me first, and we'll figure out where you should have been. You know what I mean? Like, because that's what. Listen, this is these are my daughters. So if I just want to look at that. In my daughter's life, how do I want them to remember me as a place of safety, as a place of protection, as a place of, um, no matter what happens, I'm never gonna be he's always going to be there for me. He's always going to love me. He's always going to take care of me. I'd sit down the rest of my life for my daughters, either one of them. You know what I mean? So I hope that they can, when they grow up and stuff, I know they have a different connection with their mother and stuff like that, and I don't know how that all goes in the inner workings or whatever,
mhm.
but I just hope they can really just know that it's safe to come to me, no matter
I
what.
love that. I love that. Booyah.
Um, you know,
How would you like to be remembered in Baby
I just, I
Booyah's
just,
eyes?
I just want her to remember everything that we do. I want her to remember all the fun that we have, um, all the, that Daddy was here, that Daddy never gave up on her. Um, you know, I'm present. The only reason I'm still living in this town that I'm in is because my daughter's here. Because I'm the type of dad, I don't want to miss soccer games. I don't want to miss uh, school functions. I want to be present for everything. So, yeah, I just want her to remember that, Daddy was here.
I love that. I love that. I love that so so much. And also I like what the guy said, even me, right? I'm a boy mom. Um it's funny how they said, Brandon said, I kind of, no matter how old I am, I still seek the approval of my dad or my mom. Like, are they proud of me? That acceptance is crazy. So I make sure that I let my kid know everything that he does, I'm proud of. I want him to never feel that. So it's crazy because I think everything that I feared growing up and as far as English is my second language, so talking to people, I get nervous, right? I might say Eden, or I might not pronounce things correctly. But then with my son, all of everything that I am bad at, I make sure that everything I lack, he surpasses me in everything. So I guess is like, and everything that I'm fearful of, he's fearless. And it's crazy because me and Booya were talking, and he basically said that, like, he teaches his daughter how to be fearless. And it kind of like hit me hard. And I wanted to know, right, because I'm a mom, never had a man around. I said, did you teach her to be fearless because you were fearful as a kid? And he said,
No, I mean, I have fears. I have
you had
my
fears. That's what
I
I
have
mean. My
fears,
bad. Let me
but
not let me not discredit you. There
I'm
was
just I have
fears. You know
fears.
what I mean? Yes,
But
but
like I can take my like when I talk about being fearless, like
mhm.
my daughter she's been playing on co-ed soccer team, right? So she's out there with the big boys. And it makes my heart very happy when she bodies a boy and sends him to the ground because she's not scared to go after him. And she's a little bitty thing. Like she gets away with a bunch of elbows because she's little, but she's fearless. She goes after it. I could take her out. I could take her out cliff jumping, and she'll jump off the cliffs and jump into the water. Like she's not scared to go and do stuff and be free.
I love that.
She's not afraid to be who she is, especially when we're in a public setting. Like she has no fears when it comes to stuff like that, and that's how I want her to be.
I love it. So yeah, so I love it. Do you guys have any questions for these amazing men with amazing beards that are, amazing dads? Any questions that you guys want before we let them go and run free? Because it is Sunday and we are going to shut it down. And y'all, thank you guys so much for being part of It Takes a Village with Jess. You guys are amazing. Yeah, they both said they were single fathers. Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, do you guys have
Yeah.
anything going on? Any functions? Anything, Booyah or Brandon?
I got my kid.
Um, I don't have anything set in stone right now, but I'm sure something is coming. Actually, I just got a message from Top Badge Smurfy. She wants me to be on her featured show. So I'm gonna get back with her, and if we do that, then we'll see what happens. She literally just sent it to me like not too long ago while I was on the show. So haven't even got a chance to talk about it yet. So we'll see what happens.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Brandon,
I'm.
you have
I
anything?
got the kiddo. Excuse me. Yeah, I have two. I got the kiddos, so it's back to being dad. I don't. I never stream when my kids are here because of the limited time I have with them. I don't really need to take it away from them. But it
Yeah.
was a prior application. It was something that was a little bit more. It was important because of the topic of the conversation and
Yeah.
meeting Jessica. I realized it was a great thing to do. I wanted to get out there. I wanted to be able to touch base with you and Booyah. Seemed like a great dude, and it just
Oh
I
man, you
wanted
guys
to
will be
meet you.
amazing. But yes, I know that you have the kiddos, so I don't want to keep you
No,
away
it's
See,
from the
and
babies.
see, mine's different. She's like, Dad, go stream.
oh.
So she,
Go
she,
to
uh,
it. I don't.
she likes me streaming because one, she gets to do her own thing, right? Like
Yeah.
she's in her room right now, she's got her phone, got her watching TV, but
Right.
she also likes. I had to go in there and give her the talk. I had to say, hey, okay, I'm on a featured show here in a minute. You can't be coming in here and running your mouth because she likes to come in and run her mouth when I'm
Oh.
streaming and like to roast me. And actually, a lot of people like Baby Booyah better than they like Booyah.
Love
Baby
So
baby
Booyah.
booyah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love baby booyah. Baby booyah. That's my. She thinks I'm cool, y'all. So I definitely love baby booyah.
That's funny. I
She,
like that. I like that. No,
but
I don't. My kids don't really know about it and stuff like that, and just kind of something that I do in my off time. I enjoy being able to socialize, and when they're in bed and stuff, I got the kids. They're laying down. It's not like I can go shoot a game of
yeah,
pool or whatever. Right? You know what I mean? I
no,
don't have that support system. I don't have
fact.
that village, as Jessica calls it. So I just
Mhm.
kind of, it's our time. We're hanging tough. We're gonna watch some movies. We're watching Space Jam before this. I got the daughter's phone back. She lost her iPhone last night. It was a nightmare this morning. I was down to the wire getting here. Literally like drying my hair 155 for me. So it was like nuts.
But this
Yeah.
is what it's about. It's about a village. Now you get to meet Booyah. Y'all are very similar about your daughters. So it's soccer and all that good stuff. And I have one more thing, Brandon. Before you go, I think it's so important for people to know because you really captivated me. Can you just tell people real quick what does that stallion? What does your emoji mean in your name, sir?
So it's the horse, it's the stallion, right? So I think there's a lot of in today's day and age, there's a lot less celebrating guys for what they really need to be doing, right? And I kind of look for a lot of guys that are out there really doing their job and checking off those boxes in order to kind of achieve that social title of being a man. Just like there's a social title of being a woman and everything that a woman should do, and really, and it's relative, but there's some core things. You know what I mean? You should be respectful. You should be et cetera, et cetera. You should carry yourself well. You should be driven. You know what I mean? As a person, as a man, you should be able to, in my opinion, work with your hands. You should be there. You should be able to kind of be that protector, that barrier from a lot of the harsh realities of the world, you know what I mean, and kind of shield some of the people that are behind you. And you should be the front end of that, you know what I mean? You should be the driving force behind a lot of things. You should be concise, clear, kind of respectful. So for the guys that I see that are coming out here, and there are a lot of guys out there like Mr. Windstream, this guy Booyah here. We got my boy Don Attention Seeker, Maddie. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there, and I can't get into every one of them, but for the people that are doing it, I really do appreciate you guys. We need to do a better job of being better men and women and being better parents and really taking some accountability for what's going on and stop blaming everything else. You know what I mean? So if for everybody out there that's doing their job where everybody else doesn't want a gold star necessarily or expect to get a gold star, I got the stallions out here for the men that are doing it and being quality men and and really doing their job and not being what they could be doing. You know what I mean? So shout out to them.
I love it. So yeah, so there you go. So Brandon, I know that you have your daughters, so thank you guys so much. Brandon, Booyah, stay up there. Brandon, thank you so much. Y'all, make sure you guys hit him with a fave and go enjoy your daughters. I appreciate you even coming on still. Thank you guys. Y'all made me
Yes.
emotional. Emotional. Brandon, thank you so
Well,
much. Enjoy the
yeah.
girls. Enjoy the
Thanks for
girls.
having me
And
out.
thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me out. I really do appreciate it. And Booyah, you guys have a good rest of the day.
Yeah, man, have a good one. I faved you.
But
So, Booyah boy, how was it?
Are we
How
still?
was
Hold
your
on,
experience?
hold on.
And how to be a look at me forgetting my own name of my own show. It takes a village with Jess. You know, was it good?
Can you ask
When,
that
when,
question? Can you ask that question in 3 minutes when you're not featured anymore?
all right, yeah. Anyways, Booyah, listen. Thank you for making me cry. I wish baby Booya was here so she can hear all the amazing things. And I just wanted you to, hey
Hey
you,
you, hey you.
hey you. I just wanted you to say, or I just wanted to say, you're an amazing father. You're an
I don't
amazing
know.
friend.
Let me touch on that since you brought it up. The hey you,
Okay.
because
Oh, okay.
I don't think I've told you about this. So
And thank you, Brandon. The
so
hey you
thank
and
you.
the other viral thing. I want you to tell them
Well, yeah,
about the
me,
video. Okay.
uh, Jessica wanted to say hi to you.
Hi. Hi. Your father just made me cry speaking about you. So I'll show you all the good stuff later, baby Booya. Welcome everyone to It Takes a
And
Village
she's
with
out.
Jess. And this is Booya Boy. And
Um,
he's gonna explain where the hey you came from.
so ever since she was a baby, anytime I seen her, I always said, "Hey you," right? So like coming home from work, picking her up from daycare, picking her up from school on the soccer fields, it's always "Hey you," right? So I always say "Hey you" in that tone, "Hey you," right? And that way she knows exactly who it is before she even turns around, and it makes her so excited. Not so much anymore because I do it when she's on the soccer field, and it's more of a like, Dad, leave me alone, I'm trying to play. But yeah, hey you, that's how I get her attention. And then yeah, we're also me and her a one-time internet sensation, so she made me famous at
And
one
how
point.
is that? How did she make you famous, sir?
So some of y'all have probably seen me about 11 years ago, but I am the original dad that did his daughter's hair with a vacuum cleaner. So yeah, that about 11 years ago we went viral because I did her hair with the vacuum cleaner. We did a ponytail, popped it out, and yeah, it was a ponytail. Yeah.
Where, I want to know, where did that come from? What made you put a vacuum cleaner next to baby Booya?
I got a new vacuum and I was playing around with it, doing the whole tube thing on the face, and it sucked up a piece of her hair. And I said, "Oh," I pulled it out. I was like, "Oh," and then so I said, "Okay, hold on." And I put a hair tie on the end of it, and I said, "Boom," and I was like, "All right, here we go." Boop, and I popped it off, and the hair tie came off at the end of the tube, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Why are you like this?
I don't know, but it was cool though, because like everybody started sharing it and posting it, and then I did like parenting interviews, like with parenting magazines, and like people were wanting to send me stuff, and it was crazy, and the whole time, I'm letting her know because she's like 1.5, 2, and so she's now thinking that she's famous. And she was like wearing her sunglasses to daycare because she was famous, and that's what she sees the famous people doing. And the teachers weren't allowed to take her sunglasses, and she had to wear them all day because um, you are not featured anymore. So she'd be like, "Bitch, you ain't taking my sunglasses. These are my fucking sunglasses. Um, and I'm fucking famous, and leave me the hell alone." So that's
She
what
did
she said.
not curse. She
That's
did
what she
not
said.
say those words.
Those
You
were
just
her.
wanted to
Those were,
add that because you just wanted to curse.
look,
I know you
now,
fucking lying.
now that we're not featured, this was a great fucking show. I really appreciate you so fucking much for letting me be a part of it. Top badge, fucking Jessica. I appreciate you.
Like,
I know you fucking lying.
yeah. Oh my
Hello.
gosh. Thank you so much, Booya.
You
Like
welcome.
seriously, I think this was probably one of my favorites, y'all. Just to hear a different, different as than you. I think it's a little bit different when you like have that connection with somebody. Then you get to hear a little bit deeper into their story. Like when you were just talking about it, I felt like you were looking in my eyes, telling me what you were. If you can talk to your younger you, I just cried. Like I don't know. I just want to tell you though, like you're amazing. An amazing father, an amazing friend, an amazing streamer. And like I said, maybe you can't sometimes tell, but it's your actions. Your actions speak louder than words. Like I love your bond with your daughter. Like for me, I was like, dads are supposed to be like this, but you opened up my eyes to something completely different.
No, no. Everyone has this deal like you should treat daughters differently. I disagree. Um, my daughter is tough of how because of the energy that I put into her. Like I don't know if it's a good thing or if it's a bad thing, but she acts just like me. We haven't figured that part out yet.
Like this.
But like I was really tough on her, and I would wrestle with her, and then I would like anytime we played board games, like it didn't matter. I would kick her ass. Have you ever seen a 4-year old get her ass whooped in
Yes,
air
because
hockey?
that's
In
how I
air
was
hockey.
with Elijah. Like I
Listen,
would literally I wouldn't lay low because he needed to know what it felt like to lose.
yo, 4 years old. She barely see over the table, hitting the little putt thingy on the air hockey table. I
Can
was pow smashing that thing, and the parents looking at me like,
no, that
no,
you was
I
just a
skunked that
bully.
little girl. I skunked that little girl 7-0. I whooped her ass. Like,
You're
but listen,
evil.
no, no, listen.
Okay, listen.
About a year ago, she has an iPhone, I have an iPhone. We play Game Pigeon, right? Connect Four. Connect Four is my shit. I don't lose in Connect Four.
The door.
She beat me in Connect Four,
Oh,
and I didn't let her. And you know how happy she was? Her beating me in Connect Four for the very first time ever. If I would have just let her win all those times, that moment right there wouldn't have been as special.
I bet you she was happy all day.
Oh man, she was sending me all kinds of emojis and gifts and all kinds of shit, rubbing it in my face.
She was trash talking.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. No,
No, you didn't, boo boo. I know you
look,
fucking lying. I beat you in beer pong.
that's what I'm saying though. If I just let her win, that kind of stuff wouldn't be special. Like I want my daughter to not only be tough, but I also want her to not be a waste to society. I want her to be something. I want her to make something of herself, and she's
Mhm.
gonna do that, and I know she is.
That's awesome.
So
And I know she is too. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy you guys had each other. So it's kind of funny though because I'm kind of like that with Elijah. So it's just to hear like a female. I guess because like I said, I never had a guy around. So I'm like, aren't dads supposed to be like gentle? Like aren't you know? Listen, Booyah. I mean, Pika, don't start, boy.